Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We're March 8th. For MiningClips.com, Rob Goodman, and as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, fresh back from Toronto and PDAC. All right, Mickey, some interesting economic data here. Let's go over to the gold market, where gold just short of 1,300.
Gold had a positive last couple of days. It came off its lows in the mid 1280s. Despite a strong U.S. dollar all week, it was very strong above pretty impressive resistance at 1275. Didn't even test that. Closed at 12.99, up $6 on the week. This is the seasonally flat time for gold, so we expect it to be ambivalent over the next coming weeks. Meanwhile, silver closed up 13 cents, 15.31. Platinum did not have a good week. It came off a 2-week spike high. It came back down to 816, lost almost 5%. Palladium came off its all-time highs over the last couple of weeks, closed at 14.93 for a 2% loss. Meanwhile, the platinum to palladium ratio is at an all-time low of 0.55.
And copper here, red week.
Copper fell off 3% today, a nickel on the week, really because of this equivocal jobs report we'll talk about a little further down the show here. It's an 8-month backwardation. Chinese concentrate imports were a record high, but Chinese economy came in weak. And really, the forward look for copper depends on progress on trade, and we do not expect it to move before that happens in any big way to the upside. Closed at 291 down nickel on the week, as I said before.
And in the energy markets here, oil edges up this week, over 56.
Oil really had a good week. It fell off today on this mixed data jobs report. And also, Eurozone woes, they are going to continue with their quantitative easing program, negative interest rates. Meanwhile, rigs are down 11. Production remained all-time record in the U.S. at 12.1 million barrels. Stocks were up 7 million barrels. So a lot of mixed data coming in. Weak Chinese economy, that affected the oil market certainly. And here is a curious one that I read today. The Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund has decided to divest itself of all oil and gas petroleum companies. This is despite the fact that Statoil is the government-owned oil company. It is the 11th largest oil company in the world, and it is 2/3 owned by the Norwegian government. So figure that one out, Rob. This is what socialism does, in my opinion.
And in the uranium market here, broke a little losing streak, over 28.
Uranium was stronger after last week's big drop. We're still pending Section 232 decision, which is going to be, if memory serves, sometime in mid-April. We'll know a lot about the uranium direction when that happens. Uranium closed at 28.10, up 1.3%.
And then over the currency markets, stronger U.S. dollar. Euro is the biggest loser.
I think the stronger dollar was really due to weaker DXY components. Euro, we've already mentioned, the ECB, European Central Bank, continuing quantitative easing, no growth in that zone. Loonie was weak on the much weaker, closed at 7.46, down almost 1%. Euro closed at 112.4, down over 1%. The dollar gained 80 points yesterday, came off a bit today, closed the week at 97.37, up almost 1%. 10-year Treasury, meanwhile, just vacillates at plus or minus 2.65%.
And wrapping up with the equity markets here. Little break taken this week off across the board. Some interesting economic data. I'm sure you're going to let us in on it.
Yeah, the U.S. markets were all down 5 days in a row. This was so overbought. You know, we were looking at 10 to 11 weeks since going back to last year where all these markets were just roaring. Had to come off. Weird jobs report today with only 20,000 jobs added when 180 were expected, 180,000. But wages were sharply higher, up 3.4%. We haven't seen that since coming out of the global economic crisis in 2009. Meanwhile, unemployment numbers are also good. They dropped below 4% again. The VIX went straight up all week, but it still wasn't very volatile, closed a little less than 17. Some analysts and pundits are calling that this is the beginning of the slowdown. I really think that's equivocal, but this market was so overbought, all the U.S. major markets, that they could go lower over the weeks to come. So let's hit the numbers here. Dow 25,450 down 2.2%. S&P 500 2743 also down 2.2%. Nasdaq 7408 down 2.5% on the week.
And taking up the rear, the Toronto Venture Exchange off 1.3%.
Yeah, it lost 7 points on the week, closed at 618. It was down most of the week on moderate volumes. It was perfectly set up for a post-PDAC curse, up, 5 of the last 6 weeks, 6 of the last 7 weeks or thereabouts. So with a flat gold price and an ambivalent market, which we saw at PDAC, this is going to be flat to down over the next few weeks, in my opinion.
Okay, a lot of people are counting on your opinion being wrong, but we'll see. See how that plays out. So, all right, Mickey, appreciate the.
I wouldn't mind it being wrong because that's good for my portfolio too, Rob.
Appreciate the insight, Mickey.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob.